If your love's name starts with J, God is sending you a powerful sign. Pay attention, don't scroll, listen to this, because if this message stopped you right now, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize, because nothing about this moment is accidental. Listen to this, the name you've been carrying in your heart, the one that starts with the letter J, didn't wander into your life by chance. God does not weave names into our emotions randomly. And the pull you feel is not confusion, it's recognition. Don't scroll, stay with me, because when God speaks, He often speaks through patterns, through repetition, through the quiet insistence of something that refuses to leave your spirit alone. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the letter J carries divine symbolism tied to journeys, justice, joy, and transformation, and people connected to this letter often enter our lives not just to love us, but to change us, to wake us up, to redirect us toward who we were always meant to become. Don't scroll, because if loving this person has shifted how you see yourself, how you pray, how you hope, how you feel, then God is already at work here. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you may have asked yourself why this connection feels deeper than logic, why their name appears in your thoughts during quiet moments, why you feel their energy even when you haven't spoken, and the answer is not obsession, it's alignment. Soulmate connections don't scream, they resonate, they echo, they sit gently but firmly in the soul. Don't scroll, stay with me, because God often uses emotional intensity as a wake-up call, especially when we've been living safely, predictably, disconnected from our deeper calling. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the connection with J is not meant to confuse you, it's meant to reveal you, to show you the depth of your capacity to feel, to love, to trust, and to surrender control. Don't scroll, because here's the part most people miss. When God sends a sign through a person, the purpose isn't always immediate union. Sometimes it's preparation, refinement, and growth. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if this relationship has felt delayed, distant, complicated, or unfinished, that doesn't mean it's wrong, it means it's sacred. God does not rush what He intends to last, and He does not allow soul connections to unfold before both hearts are ready to carry the weight of them. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the signs around you have been speaking loudly. Angel numbers showing up when you think about them, 111 when hope flickers unexpectedly, reminding you that new beginnings are forming even if you can't see them yet, 222 when doubt creeps in, asking you to trust divine timing, 444 when you feel tired but strangely protected, letting you know you are not alone in this waiting. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because those numbers are not coincidences. They are confirmations, whispers from heaven saying, pay attention, don't scroll, because the emotional pull you feel toward J is not meant to drain you, it's meant to awaken you, to soften walls you built to survive, to remind you that love can still reach you where fear once lived. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if you've felt spiritually stirred since meeting them, more reflective, more aware, more sensitive to signs and intuition, that is not accidental, that is awakening, and awakening rarely feels comfortable at first. Don't scroll, stay with me, because God often disrupts before He aligns, He shakes before He settles, and the shaking you felt internally is not punishment, it's preparation. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the person whose name starts with J may not yet fully understand their role in your life, and you may not either, but heaven does. And heaven is patient. Don't scroll, because this connection has been teaching you something about faith, about surrender, about trusting what you can't control, and that lesson matters more than speed. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because even if silence exists between you right now, silence does not mean absence. God works powerfully in quiet spaces, shaping hearts behind the scenes, aligning courage, healing wounds, removing fear. Don't scroll, stay with me. Because here's the truth that brings peace: if God planted this name in your heart and keeps bringing it back, He has not forgotten you, and He has not abandoned the story. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because what feels like waiting is actually divine timing calibrating itself, ensuring that when movement happens, it doesn't break you, confuse you, or lead you astray. Don't scroll, because this is not about chasing signs or forcing outcomes. It's about staying open, receptive, and grounded while God finishes what He started. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the letter J is not just a name, it's a marker, a reminder that joy often comes after surrender, that journeys require trust, and that justice in love means both souls meeting with honesty and readiness. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is only part one, and the reason this message feels emotional is because your spirit recognizes truth when it hears it. God is not done speaking, and He is not done moving. A moment is coming. A realization, a message, a shift that will make everything you've endured make sense. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if the name J keeps appearing in your heart, in your thoughts, in your signs, then heaven is still writing, still aligning, still preparing, and this story is far from over. So don't scroll away from your intuition, don't silence what God is awakening. Stay present, stay faithful, because when divine timing moves, it moves with purpose, and what's unfolding now is part of something far bigger than you can see yet. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for this next part, the universe is continuing the conversation with you, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels heavier, clearer, and more intentional than before, because what's happening around the name J is no longer just a sign of recognition, it's a test of faith and patience. Listen to this, God doesn't reveal meaning all at once. He unfolds it in layers so your spirit can keep up with what your heart is learning. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the reason the name J keeps resurfacing is not to torment you or keep you stuck, it's to anchor you in awareness, to make sure you don't dismiss what heaven has marked. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because after recognition comes resistance, and resistance often shows up as confusion, silence, distance, or delay, especially in soul connections that carry divine weight. Don't scroll. Because here's the truth most people don't tell you. When God is involved in a connection, opposition doesn't always come from outside forces, sometimes it comes from fear, unhealed wounds, and timing misalignment within the people involved. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the person whose name starts with J is not ignoring you spiritually, even if they appear distant physically or emotionally. They are wrestling internally with the magnitude of what this connection represents. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the stage where God begins shaping hearts quietly, removing pride, softening defenses, and teaching both souls how to listen instead of react. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because silence in divine connections is rarely empty. It is filled with prayer, internal conflict, emotional sorting, and spiritual preparation. Don't scroll, because if you've been feeling waves of emotion without clear cause, moments of peace followed by longing, confidence followed by doubt, that's Because your spirit is sensing movement before your eyes can see it, listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God often moves in the unseen first, aligning courage on one side and trust on the other. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the angel numbers haven't stopped for a reason. 111 still appearing when you think of beginnings and possibilities. 222 when patience feels tested but balance holds. 333 when emotional weight meets reassurance. 444 when you feel protected even without answers. These numbers are not asking you to wait blindly, they are reminding you that heaven is actively involved. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because part 2 is about refinement, God refining expectations, refining timing, refining how you love without losing yourself. Don't scroll, because the connection with J is teaching you something essential, that love rooted in faith does not demand control. It requires surrender. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because surrender does not mean giving up, it means trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by, even if it arrives differently than you imagined. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the emotional intensity you feel is not meant to consume you, it's meant to transform you, to bring you closer to God, closer to self-awareness, closer to emotional maturity. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because divine connections are not just about romance, they're about purpose, alignment, and spiritual growth. Don't scroll, because here's the revelation forming now, the delay you feel is not a denial, it's protection. God is protecting you from premature union that could collapse under unhealed fear, and protecting the other person from stepping forward before they can lead with truth. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God never rushes what He's still healing. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the person connected to the name J is undergoing their own process, whether you see it or not, confronting fears of vulnerability, responsibility, and change, and that process cannot be rushed by desire alone. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because love that lasts is built on readiness, not urgency. Don't scroll, because this is the phase where faith is tested most, when signs are present but answers are delayed, when trust must exist without confirmation. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God often asks for trust before He reveals outcomes, not after. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the stirring you feel in your spirit is not meant to keep you stuck in waiting, it's meant to keep you aligned while preparation continues. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because alignment does not mean inactivity, it means staying emotionally available without forcing direction, grounded without becoming numb, hopeful without becoming dependent. Don't scroll, because here's the cliffhanger moment, something is shifting beneath the surface, a decision, a realization, a breaking point where silence can no longer hold what's forming, and when that moment arrives, it will feel sudden to you, but it will have been prepared carefully by God. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because part 2 is not about resolution yet, it's about strengthening your faith so that when movement happens, you don't collapse into fear or impatience. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the story connected to the name J is still being written, and heaven doesn't abandon stories it begins. Trust the timing, trust the signs, trust the stirring in your heart, because God is not silent, He is working, and what's unfolding now will make sense in ways that bring peace instead of confusion when the time is right. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for this next part, the message has gone from gentle confirmation into divine confrontation, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels intense but deeply reassuring, because what God is doing around the name, J, is no longer just about recognition or patience, it's about preparation for truth. Listen to this. When God repeats a sign 3 times, He is not asking you to wonder anymore, He is asking you to pay attention, and the reason the name, J, keeps echoing through your thoughts, prayers, dreams, and signs is because something is reaching a breaking point in the spiritual realm before it manifests in the physical. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where many people get discouraged and misinterpret the delay as loss. But in divine timing, delay often means pressure is being applied to move things into alignment. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the connection tied to J has entered a phase where God is actively removing illusions, not just from them, but from you too. Illusions about how love is supposed to arrive, how fast it should move, how certain it should feel at every moment. Don't scroll, because God does not build soulmate connections on certainty alone, He builds them on faith, and faith is refined in seasons where answers are partial but presence is strong. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the person connected to the name, J, is no longer just being prepared emotionally, they are being confronted spiritually, confronted with the truth that this connection cannot be handled casually, that it demands honesty, maturity, and courage, and that realization is unsettling. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the part most people don't talk about. When God is preparing someone for a divinely aligned connection, He often allows discomfort, restlessness, and internal conflict to surface so that old patterns can no longer survive. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the distance you feel is not stagnation, it's compression, the spiritual equivalent of pressure building before movement. Don't scroll, because your soulmate is now experiencing moments where avoidance no longer brings peace, where distraction no longer works, where silence feels heavier than expression, and that is a sign that God is narrowing the path. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because narrowing paths lead to decisions, and decisions lead to action. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the angel numbers you're seeing are shifting in tone now, not just reassurance but readiness. 111 appearing with a sense of urgency about beginnings, 222 appearing when patience is tested but balance feels fragile, 444 appearing when protection is needed during emotional weight. These numbers are no longer just comforting, they are activating. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God is signaling that the season of observation is ending and the season of response is approaching. Don't scroll, because part 3 is where your role becomes clearer too. You are not being asked to chase, fix, or force anything, but you are being asked to stay awake, to remain emotionally honest with yourself, to stop numbing or minimizing what you feel just to make waiting easier. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because minimizing your feelings does not make divine timing move faster, it only makes you smaller, and God never asks you to shrink to receive what He's preparing. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the emotional revelation in this phase is this. The connection with J is not testing your patience, it's testing your trust. Trust that God can work in someone else's heart without your interference. Trust that silence does not mean abandonment. Trust that what is meant for you will not require you to beg. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the internal struggle happening on their side is real, intense, and purposeful. They are being asked to confront fears of vulnerability, responsibility, and surrender, fears that would sabotage the connection if left unhealed. Don't scroll, because God often delays union to protect both souls from repeating cycles that would destroy what was meant to last. listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the tension you feel is not punishment, it's positioning both of you at the edge of honesty. Don't scroll, stay with me, because something important is happening energetically. The name, J, is no longer just a symbol of a person, it has become a marker of transformation in your life, showing you where you still cling, where you still fear, where you still want certainty instead of surrender. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because surrender does not mean losing control to chaos, it means releasing control to God, who sees the entire picture. Don't scroll, because this is where faith matures, when signs continue but outcomes remain unseen. When reassurance exists without resolution, listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God is strengthening your spiritual spine in this season, teaching you how to stand in uncertainty without collapsing into anxiety. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the person connected to J is approaching a crossroads, whether they know it consciously yet or not, a point where staying silent will cost more than speaking, where delay will feel heavier than risk. And God is orchestrating circumstances to bring that realization forward. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when that realization lands, it will not be subtle, it will feel like clarity breaking through fog. Don't scroll, because part 3 is not the climax yet, it's the tightening of the narrative, the moment where all the quiet preparation begins to demand expression. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe does not keep repeating signs without intending movement, and God does not awaken hearts just to leave them unresolved. Don't scroll, stay with me, because you are closer to truth than you've ever been, closer to an answer than the waiting makes you believe, but that answer will not arrive through guessing, it will arrive through alignment. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because alignment requires you to stay open but not desperate, hopeful but not dependent, grounded but not closed. Don't scroll, because the next phase will require emotional steadiness, not reaction. When movement happens, you will need to receive it without fear rewriting the meaning. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God is preparing both the message and the messenger, the moment and the maturity, so that when truth surfaces, it heals instead of harms. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this story is approaching a turning point, and part 3 exists to strengthen you so that when the turning point arrives, you don't doubt what you prayed for, you recognize it, trust it, and meet it with peace. The name J is still a living sign, not a closed chapter, and heaven is still working, still aligning, still speaking, even when the world feels quiet. So don't scroll away from your faith now, don't silence your intuition, because what God begins, He completes, and this chapter is still unfolding toward revelation. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for this part, the message has reached a deeper level of truth, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels steady but intense, because what God is doing around the name J is no longer subtle preparation, it is active alignment. Listen to this, the season you are in right now is not about waiting without purpose, it is about God arranging circumstances, timing, and hearts so that what unfolds next does not fall apart under fear. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where God begins to separate illusion from intention, and that process can feel uncomfortable, confusing, even lonely. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the person connected to J is being confronted with truths they can no longer avoid, truths about what they want, what they're afraid of, and what they've been running from emotionally. Don't scroll, because when God prepares someone for a divinely guided connection, He often removes distractions first, stripping away false comfort, exposing emptiness in places that once felt safe. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is starting to realize that no matter how much they try to return to old patterns, old habits, old emotional hiding places, something has changed permanently, and that something is you. Don't scroll, stay with me. Because this is where the distance begins to feel heavy to them, not just to you. Silence no longer feels like protection, it feels like avoidance, and avoidance loses its power when the heart is awakened. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because awakening is rarely gentle, it unsettles before it heals, it challenges before it comforts, and your connection has been the catalyst for that awakening. Don't scroll, because God is also doing work on your side, teaching you discernment instead of attachment, faith instead of anxiety, trust instead of control. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because this phase is not asking you to guess outcomes, it's asking you to stand firm in who you are becoming. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the signs around you are shifting again. Angel numbers may be appearing with different emotional weight now. 111 no longer just feels hopeful, it feels urgent about new beginnings. 222 feels like a test of balance instead of reassurance. 444 feels like grounding when emotions run high. These are not random, they are signals that movement is closer. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God does not escalate signs unless hearts are nearing readiness. Don't scroll, because here's the truth that brings clarity, the connection tied to J was never meant to stay suspended forever. Divine alignment does not leave people in endless limbo, it leads to decision. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is approaching a point where indecision becomes more painful than action, where silence costs more than honesty, and that is when God allows things to move. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the stage where circumstances may shift unexpectedly, conversations may open naturally, paths may cross at surprising moments, not by chance, but by orchestration. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because divine timing often looks sudden from the outside, even though it has been carefully prepared behind the scenes. Don't scroll, because if you felt a sudden calm mixed with anticipation recently, that is not emotional confusion, it's spiritual readiness. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because calm before movement is a sign that fear is loosening its grip. Don't scroll, stay with me, because God is not asking you to push, persuade, or prove your worth. He is asking you to receive what is aligning, and receiving requires openness, not force. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the connection with J is moving toward a moment of truth. Whether that truth arrives as reunion, clarity, or release, it will arrive cleanly, without chaos, without confusion, and that is mercy. Don't scroll, because even release in divine timing brings peace instead of devastation. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God never leaves hearts broken without purpose, He heals as He reveals. Don't scroll, stay with me, because part 4 exists to prepare you emotionally for what's next, to strengthen your grounding so that when the truth arrives, you don't react from fear, but respond from alignment. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the name J is no longer just a sign of connection, it is a sign of growth, a marker of who you are becoming through this process. Don't scroll, because growth always precedes clarity, and clarity always precedes peace. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe is not testing you to see how long you can wait, It is preparing you to handle what comes next with grace. Don't scroll, stay with me, because something is about to shift, not loudly, not dramatically, but meaningfully, and when it does, you will understand why God asked you to stay present, faithful, and open through the uncertainty. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because divine alignment does not rush, but it does move, and movement is closer than it feels. This chapter is not ending in silence, it is leading toward truth, and truth, even when it challenges, always brings freedom. So stay steady, stay open, and trust that if God placed the letter J in your heart, He is still writing the story, and He does not abandon what He has marked with purpose. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're still here for this part, the universe has not finished with you yet, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels heavy, holy, and deeply personal. Because what God is doing around the name J has entered the phase of decision and revelation, the moment where preparation gives way to movement. Listen to this, the waiting you've endured was not meaningless, it was shaping you, strengthening you, teaching you how to trust God without demanding proof, and now that season is reaching its turning point. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where many people get scared and pull back just before clarity arrives. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the connection tied to J is no longer floating in uncertainty, it is being weighed by God, by timing, by readiness, and by truth. Don't scroll, because here's what's happening spiritually. The internal resistance on their side is cracking, the fear that once held them back is losing strength, not because fear is gone, but because the cost of staying silent has become too great. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is beginning to feel the consequences of delay, not as punishment, but as discomfort, restlessness, and an inability to find peace without honesty. Don't scroll, stay with me, because when God prepares someone to speak truth, He first removes their comfort in silence. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the name J has become a spiritual trigger for them, not in a negative way, but in a revealing way. Every time they think of you, something surfaces, longing, regret, curiosity, conviction. And those emotions are no longer ignorable. Don't scroll, because this is the stage where God shifts the question from if to when. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because divine timing does not operate on endless loops, it moves toward resolution, and resolution always arrives when hearts are prepared to handle it without destruction. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your role in this phase is critical, not because you need to act, but because you need to remain grounded, emotionally present, spiritually steady, and open without being anxious. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because what's coming next will require clarity on your side as much as courage on theirs. Don't scroll, because the universe has been strengthening your discernment for this exact reason, teaching you how to feel deeply without losing yourself, how to hope without attaching your worth to an outcome. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because if you felt more emotionally mature lately, more self-aware, more calm in the middle of uncertainty, that's not accidental, that's preparation. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the signs around you are shifting again. Angel numbers may be appearing at pivotal emotional moments now, not just randomly. 111 when a sudden sense of something is about to change washes over you. 222 when you're tempted to doubt but choose trust instead. 444 when you feel protected even as emotions intensify. These are confirmations that movement is near. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God does not intensify signs unless hearts are aligning toward action. Don't scroll, because here's the emotional truth most people aren't ready to hear. Whatever happens next with J will not be ambiguous, it will not leave you guessing, it will not keep you stuck in limbo, whether it comes as union, truth spoken, or a clean release. It will bring clarity, and clarity is mercy. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because God values your peace more than prolonged confusion. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the fear you may feel right now is not a warning, it's a threshold. Fear often appears just before a breakthrough, not to stop you, but to test whether you trust God more than your need for control. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because control has been the lesson here. Learning to release it, learning to trust that what is meant for you does not require force. Don't scroll, because your soulmate connected to J is approaching a moment where honesty will feel safer than avoidance, where vulnerability will feel less risky than regret, and that is when truth emerges. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because truth does not always come as a dramatic confession. Sometimes it comes quietly, through a message, a conversation, a shift in energy that feels unmistakably intentional. Don't scroll, stay with me, because when that moment arrives, you will feel it in your body before your mind catches up, a sense of recognition, a calm knowing, not chaos, not confusion. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because divine movement feels grounded, not frantic. Don't scroll, because even if the outcome is not what your ego imagined, it will be what your soul needs, and that is how you know God is involved. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because God never reveals truth to harm you, He reveals it to free you. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this part exists to prepare you for emotional honesty, to remind you that you are strong enough now to handle clarity, strong enough to receive love or release with grace. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because whatever unfolds next will mark the end of this waiting season, one way or another, and endings in divine timing are not losses, they are transitions. Don't scroll, because transitions create space for what's next, and what's next is always aligned with who you've become. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the letter J has served its purpose as a signpost, a wake-up call, a catalyst for growth, and now it is moving toward resolution. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is not asking you to brace for pain, it is asking you to stand ready for truth, and truth, even when it challenges, always leads to peace. Stay grounded, stay faithful, stay open, because God does not leave stories unfinished, and what He has been building in silence is about to speak, bringing clarity, closure, or connection in a way that finally makes sense, and when it does, you will look back on this season and realize it was not delay, it was divine preparation. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you are here now, still holding this message in your awareness, the universe is no longer circling the truth, it is pointing directly at it. And your heart needs this right now in a way that feels steady, sacred, and unavoidable, because what God is doing around the name J has entered the phase of divine pressure, the moment where silence can no longer hold what has been forming. Listen to this. The preparation is almost complete, and what remains is courage. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the stage where many people feel an emotional heaviness they can't explain, a mix of peace and anticipation, calm and vulnerability, and that feeling is not anxiety. It is readiness. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the connection tied to J is no longer being processed quietly in the background, it is now demanding conscious acknowledgement, not just from them, but from the universe itself. Don't scroll, because God does not apply pressure to break you, He applies pressure to move you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the person connected to J has reached a point where avoidance no longer brings relief. Distraction no longer works, and the emotional space they tried to maintain is collapsing under the weight of truth. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment where fear loses its disguise, where the internal question shifts from, what if I get hurt, to, what if I lose this because I stayed silent? Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because regret carries more weight than vulnerability at this stage, and your soulmate is beginning to feel that shift. Don't scroll, because the restlessness they're experiencing now is not confusion, it's conviction that something meaningful has been left unresolved, conviction that the connection with you cannot be ignored without consequence. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because God often removes comfort before He releases clarity, and comfort in silence has now been taken away. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the angel numbers around you may feel more intense now, not louder, but sharper. 111 appearing with a sense of urgency rather than hope, 222 appearing when patience feels stretched but still supported, 444 appearing when emotional grounding is required to prevent fear from taking over. These are not passive signs, they are active stabilizers. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God is preparing both of you for what comes next. Courage on one side, steadiness on the other. Don't scroll, because this phase is not asking you to do anything outwardly, it is asking you to be ready inwardly, ready to hear truth without collapsing, ready to receive clarity without clinging, ready to accept alignment even if it challenges expectations. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because divine outcomes don't always arrive wrapped in fantasy, they arrive wrapped in peace. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the connection tied to J is approaching a moment of articulation, not necessarily dramatic confession, but honest acknowledgement, the kind that changes the emotional landscape immediately. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when God moves in relationships, He prefers clean shifts over messy limbo, and that's what is coming. A clean moment, not chaos, not confusion. Don't scroll, because this is also the phase where your own growth becomes visible. You may notice you are no longer obsessing, no longer spiraling, no longer begging the universe for answers, and that calm is not detachment, it is readiness. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because readiness is how you know a season is ending. Don't scroll, stay with me, because God does not deliver truth until the heart can handle it without self-abandonment, and you are stronger now than you were when this began. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whatever happens next will not break you, it will clarify you. Don't scroll, because the person connected to J is nearing the point where honesty will feel inevitable, where continuing to suppress emotion feels more dangerous than expressing it, and when that threshold is crossed, movement happens quickly. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because divine timing often looks slow until the final shift, and then everything changes at once. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is not the moment to second-guess your intuition. The calm certainty you feel now is not numbness, it is alignment. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because alignment is the space where truth lands gently instead of violently. Don't scroll, because when clarity arrives, whether as union, conversation, or release, it will feel right. Even if it challenges you emotionally, it will bring relief, not confusion, peace, not chaos. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God does not bring resolution to hurt you, He brings it to free you. Don't scroll, stay with me, because part 6 exists to tell you this. You are not behind, you are not forgotten, and you are not waiting in vain. The pressure you feel is not a warning, it is the final alignment before movement. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the name, J, has done its work as a sign, as a catalyst, as a mirror, and now it is moving toward completion. Don't scroll, because completion does not always mean ending, sometimes it means beginning. But beginnings that are rooted in truth instead of fantasy. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whatever comes next will mark the close of this long spiritual chapter, the chapter of wondering, waiting, and trusting without proof, and the opening of the next one, the chapter of clarity, direction, and peace. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is not teasing you. It is preparing you to receive what you once prayed for without fear, and when this phase breaks open, you will understand why God asked you to stay still, stay faithful, and stay open, because what He was building required patience, maturity, and trust, and you have grown into someone who can now hold the truth without losing yourself, and that is why movement is near, closer than it has ever been, even if you can't see it yet. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you've reached this moment, this is not coincidence anymore, this is confirmation, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels quiet but powerful, because what God has been doing around the name, J, is reaching its final unfolding, the place where everything that felt confusing begins to make sense. Listen to this. This phase is about resolution, not necessarily the kind you imagined, but the kind your soul has been asking for all along. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where divine stories stop circling and start landing. Listen to this, the pressure that has been building is not meant to scare you, it's meant to prepare you to receive truth without panic, to hear clarity without collapsing, to accept alignment without trying to control it. Don't scroll, because the connection tied to J is no longer operating in the realm of signs and symbolism alone. It is moving into the realm of lived reality, where choices must be made and honesty must replace silence. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has reached the edge of their internal resistance, the place where fear no longer feels protective, but limiting, where avoidance no longer feels safe, but costly, and that shift is profound. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the stage where people stop asking, what if, and start asking, why am I still running? Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the person connected to J is realizing that continuing to delay is no longer neutral, it's a decision in itself, and that realization is forcing clarity to rise. Don't scroll, because God does not allow awakened hearts to remain comfortable in dishonesty, and silence has become a form of dishonesty toward the self. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the emotional restlessness they've been experiencing is not chaos, it's conviction that something meaningful has been left unspoken, unfinished, unresolved. Don't scroll, stay with me, because conviction always precedes truth being spoken. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe has been aligning you for this moment too, strengthening your emotional boundaries, deepening your self-trust, loosening your attachment to outcomes, so that when clarity arrives, you can receive it without fear hijacking your response. Don't scroll, because this is the phase where you may notice something subtle but important within yourself. You're no longer desperate for answers, you're no longer bargaining with God, you're no longer spiraling in what-ifs, and that inner calm is not giving up, it's readiness. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because readiness is how you know a cycle is closing. Don't scroll, stay with me. Because the angel numbers you've been seeing now carry a different tone, not reassurance, but grounding. 111 appearing with a sense of inevitability, 222 appearing when balance must be maintained during emotional movement, 444 appearing when protection is needed as truth approaches. These are not signs to wait, they are signs to stand steady. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because what's coming next will not require you to chase, explain, or prove anything. It will require you to listen, to feel, and to respond from alignment instead of fear. Don't scroll, because the person connected to J is approaching the moment where honesty feels unavoidable, where the idea of staying silent feels heavier than the risk of speaking, and when that threshold is crossed, movement happens quickly. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because divine movement often looks sudden only because all the preparation happened in silence. Don't scroll, stay with me, because when truth arrives, it may come as a conversation, a message, a confession, or even a clear release, but whatever form it takes, it will not leave you guessing, it will feel clean. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because God values clarity more than prolonged hope that keeps the heart suspended. Don't scroll, because even if the outcome challenges your expectations, it will not betray your soul. Divine truth never does. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because this connection has already done its most important work, it awakened you, it refined you. It taught you how deeply you can feel without losing yourself. Don't scroll, stay with me, because not every divine connection is meant to stay forever in the same form, but every divine connection leaves you more aligned than before. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if union is what unfolds, it will unfold with maturity, honesty, and mutual readiness, not fantasy, not confusion, not fear. Don't scroll, because if release is what unfolds, it will come with peace, closure, and a sense of rightness, not devastation. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God does not remove something from your life without replacing it with alignment. Don't scroll, stay with me, because part 7 exists to tell you this clearly. You have reached the end of the waiting season, the season of signs without answers, the season of faith without evidence, and that alone is a victory. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because whatever happens next will not undo your growth, it will confirm it. Don't scroll, because the letter J has served as a mirror, a catalyst, and a messenger, and now its role is transforming. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because transformation does not always mean continuation, sometimes it means completion, and completion is holy. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is not leaving you in suspense to test your endurance, it is preparing you to step forward with clarity, peace, and self-respect. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because when God finishes a chapter, He doesn't slam the door, He opens space for something that matches who you've become. Don't scroll, because you are no longer the same person you were when this journey with J began. You are wiser, steadier, more grounded, more discerning. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because that growth is the true sign God has been sending all along. Don't scroll. Stay with me, because whatever unfolds next will not require you to abandon yourself, it will invite you to stand fully in who you are, and that is alignment. Don't scroll, because this story is not ending in confusion, it is concluding in truth, and truth always leads to peace, whether it arrives as love that stays or love that releases you into something new. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because God has not wasted your waiting, your tears, or your faith, and when this final peace clicks into place, you will understand why the timing was exact, why the silence mattered, and why the name, J, had to pass through your life to bring you here, grounded, awake, and ready for what's next, and what's next will meet you where you are now, not where you were before. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you are still here at this point, this is no longer about curiosity or comfort, this is about completion energy, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels calm, emotional, and undeniably real, because what God has been orchestrating around the name, J, has reached the stage where the lesson is integrating into your spirit, not just your thoughts. Listen to this. This is the phase where everything slows down externally but becomes crystal clear internally, and that clarity is not accidental, it's divine. Don't scroll, stay with me, because many people mistake this calm for emptiness, but it's actually resolution settling in, the moment when your soul finally understands what your mind has been trying to figure out for so long. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the connection tied to J is no longer asking to be chased, questioned, or analyzed, it is asking to be honored for what it was and what it taught. You don't scroll, because here's the truth that lands softly but deeply, the most powerful divine signs don't end in chaos, they end in peace, even when they hurt a little. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the intensity you once felt has transformed into wisdom, and wisdom is how you know a cycle has completed its work. Don't scroll, stay with me, because God does not leave souls in emotional limbo forever. He leads them toward understanding, and understanding is what you're stepping into now. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because whether the person connected to J remains physically in your life or not, their purpose in your life has already been fulfilled at the deepest level. They woke something up in you that will never go back to sleep. Don't scroll, because awakenings are permanent. Once you learn how deeply you can feel, how clearly you can sense alignment, how strongly your intuition speaks, you cannot unlearn it. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because that awakening was never meant to trap you in longing, it was meant to free you into discernment. Don't scroll, stay with me, because part 8 is about integration, taking everything you felt, everything you waited through, everything you hoped for, and letting it settle into self-trust. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because God's greatest gift in divine connections is not always the person, it's the version of you that emerges afterward, steadier, braver, more honest with yourself. Don't scroll, because you are no longer asking the universe for signs the way you used to, you are becoming the sign. Your calm, your clarity, your boundaries, your peace are all evidence that something holy has completed its work. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because peace does not mean numbness, it means alignment. Don't scroll, stay with me, because if you notice that you can now think about J without panic, without obsession, without losing yourself, that is not loss, that is healing. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because healing does not erase love, it contextualizes it, it places it in the right chapter instead of letting it bleed into every page. Don't scroll, because God is not removing love from your life, He is repositioning it so it no longer controls you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because control was never the goal, freedom was. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where gratitude quietly replaces desperation, where you can say, thank you, for what was without needing it to return in the same form. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because gratitude is closure without bitterness. Don't scroll, because the angel numbers you may still see now have a different feeling, less urgent, more grounding. 111 feels like self-alignment instead of anticipation. 222 feels like balance within yourself. 444 feels like protection in your independence. These numbers are no longer pointing you towards someone else, they're pointing you back to you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because that is the final stage of a divine sign. When the external trigger dissolves and the internal truth remains, don't scroll, stay with me, because the story around J was never meant to define your worth, it was meant to refine it. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because refinement is quiet, subtle, and powerful. Don't scroll, because you are now standing in a different frequency, one where you don't need intensity to feel alive. One where peace feels exciting instead of boring. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because that shift means you are ready for what's next, whatever form it takes. Don't scroll, stay with me, because God does not awaken hearts just to leave them wandering, He awakens them so they can recognize real alignment when it arrives. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the next connection in your life, whether with J transformed, or someone entirely new, will meet you at this higher level of clarity, not at the level of longing. Don't scroll, because longing taught you what you wanted, but clarity teaches you what you need. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because need-based love is grounded, mutual, and sustainable. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the chapter where you stop asking, why did this happen? And start understanding why it had to. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because understanding is the final gift of divine timing. Don't scroll, because nothing was wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your prayers, not your hope. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because everything shaped you into someone who can now choose love without losing themselves. Don't scroll, stay with me, because part 8 is not about suspense anymore, it's about settling, the settling of truth into your bones, the settling of peace into your nervous system, the settling of trust into your faith. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when God finishes a lesson, He doesn't leave you empty, He leaves you ready, ready for alignment that doesn't require confusion, ready for love that doesn't require pain, ready for connection that doesn't require silence. Don't scroll, because the name J may always hold meaning for you, but it no longer holds power over you, and that is freedom. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because freedom is the clearest sign that God has completed a chapter. Don't scroll, stay with me, because whatever unfolds next will meet you in this peace, not in chaos, and that is how you'll know it's real, not because it hurts, not because it consumes you, but because it fits, and that is the quiet miracle God was preparing you for all along.